Have you ever stopped to wonder if the last choice you made, what to eat for breakfast, which route to take to work, or even what to watch tonight, was truly your own? It's a startling thought, one that can shake the very foundation of how we see ourselves. Day after day, we move through our lives feeling like the captains of our own ships, confidently steering our destinies with intention and purpose. Each step, each decision, seems to be a direct result of our own free will. This feeling of control, this deep sense of agency, is fundamental to our identity. It's what makes us feel unique, responsible, and in charge of our own stories. But what if this deeply held conviction is just a grand, comforting illusion? What if the freedom we cherish is not as absolute as we believe? Imagine for a moment that the sensation of making a choice is simply the final step in a long, invisible chain of events that began long before you were even aware a decision was needed. The universe itself is a vast tapestry of cause and effect, a magnificent and intricate web of interactions stretching from the smallest particles to the largest galaxies. Every action, every reaction is linked in this endless chain. Now picture your brain as an astonishingly complex biological computer, more powerful than anything humans have ever built. It constantly receives inputs from your environment, sounds, sights, smells, and processes internal data like memories, emotions, and instincts, all in the blink of an eye. When you're faced with a decision, this intricate network of billions of neurons fires in a specific complex pattern, shaped by your genetics, your past experiences, and the immediate context. The outcome feels like a spontaneous act of will, a moment of personal triumph. But what if in reality it was the only possible outcome, given everything that led up to it? The human brain is the most complex structure we know of in the universe, a marvel of nature's engineering, yet still bound by the laws of physics and biology. Our minds might operate on a principle, wonderfully complex, seemingly spontaneous, but ultimately a product of the universe's unbroken chain of causality. So the next time you make a choice, ask yourself, was it truly yours? Or was it simply the inevitable result of everything that came before? Your choices are not made in a vacuum. They are shaped by powerful, often invisible forces. Think of the time and place you were born. This single, random fact has an immense influence on the person you are today. Let's tell a story of two people, Anya and Bao. Anya, born in a tech-forward metropolis, was encouraged to innovate and pursue science. Bao, from a remote farming village, was guided by tradition and community. Are Anya's choices freer than Bao's, or are they both simply responding to their environments? Neither chose their starting point or the values instilled in them from birth. Their sense of purpose, their dreams, were sculpted by culture and circumstance. This extends beyond culture to the genetic lottery. To believe our achievements are solely our own is to ignore the universe's random shuffle. The tension between free will and determinism is not a new conversation. It is a question that has echoed through the halls of history, debated by scholars, philosophers, and spiritual leaders across cultures and centuries. This ancient question has been explored by some of the greatest minds and spiritual traditions the world has ever known. From the earliest written records to the teachings passed down through generations, humanity has always sought to understand the balance between destiny and choice. Many of these thinkers and traditions saw the universe as a place imbued with deep meaning and purpose, where every event and action might be part of a larger, mysterious design. In the Qur'an, it is stated, "You will not will unless Allah wills." This verse highlights the belief that human intention is ultimately intertwined with the divine will, suggesting a profound connection between our choices and a higher power. Similarly, the Bible teaches, "In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." This passage reflects the idea that while we may make our own plans, the ultimate outcome is guided by forces beyond our control. The Prophet Muhammad offered practical wisdom, advising, "Trust in God, but tie your camel." This saying reminds us that faith in a larger plan does not mean we should neglect our responsibilities or actions in the present moment. This teaching encourages us to balance trust in fate with personal effort, showing that belief in destiny does not absolve us of our duty to act with intention and care. The ancient Greek philosopher Epictetus also grappled with these questions. He taught that wisdom lies in learning to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not, a lesson that remains relevant today. According to Epictetus, our opinions, aspirations, and desires are up to us. These are the things we can shape and direct through our choices and attitudes, But our bodies, our property, and the actions of others are not truly ours to command. These aspects of life are subject to chance, circumstance, and the will of others. True wisdom, then, comes from focusing our energy on our own choices and responses, while learning to accept the external world as it is, with all its unpredictability and change. This is a practical philosophy for navigating a world where we are not in total command. By embracing both faith and reason, we can find peace in uncertainty and purpose in our actions, even when the outcome is unknown. Let's bring this down from the cosmic to the deeply personal. Sometimes the biggest questions about the universe are best understood by looking inward at the choices that shape our own lives. Think about a significant choice you've made in your life. Maybe it was a career move, a relationship, or a decision to start over somewhere new. These moments often feel like they define us. It was your choice, and you are living with its consequences. Every day you carry the results of that decision, for better or worse. Now trace its origins backward in time. Imagine rewinding your life step by step to see what led you there. Why did you make that specific decision? What thoughts, feelings, or circumstances nudged you in that direction? Perhaps you were influenced by a parent, a teacher, or a mentor whose words echoed in your mind at just the right moment. Maybe you moved to a city because of a friend's encouragement, a job offer, or the promise of a fresh start. Sometimes it's the people around us who open doors we never expected. What about the values that guided your choice? The beliefs and priorities that shaped your sense of right and wrong, or what mattered most in that moment? They were likely absorbed from your family and culture, passed down through stories, traditions, and shared experiences. Even the emotional state you were in played a role. Stress, excitement, fear, or hope can all tip the scales in ways we barely notice. As you trace this web of influences, you might see your choice was a convergence of external forces, people, places, and moments all coming together. It was a nexus where genetics, upbringing, culture, opportunity, and chance met, each thread weaving into the fabric of your decision. Recognizing this fosters a sense of humility and connection. We realize we're not alone in our choices. We're part of something much larger. Your choice was not an isolated event. It was a single domino in a long chain, a ripple in a vast pond, shaped by countless factors beyond your control. It was a moment woven into the grand tapestry of the universe, a reminder that every decision is both uniquely yours and deeply connected to everything and everyone around you. Here's a twist in our cosmic journey. What if true freedom isn't about having an infinite number of choices? The constant pressure to make the right choice can be paralyzing. Perhaps real freedom is understanding the system and finding your place within it. Think of a surfer who does not control the ocean. The surfer's freedom comes from understanding the wave. In this act of surrender, they find exhilaration and liberty. The concept of submission to a divine will is often misunderstood as a loss of freedom, but for believers, it is the ultimate liberation. Freedom is not forging your own path, but walking the destined path with grace. This doesn't mean passivity, it requires effort and integrity. The freedom lies in letting go of the outcome. You do your best and trust the wave of the universe. So where does this leave us? Are we puppets or masters of our fate? We are engaged in a dance between destiny and decision. Destiny is the stage, the music, and the partner we are given. These are the elements we cannot control, but within that framework, we have the freedom to dance. Our decisions are the steps we take, the way we move to the music. Our character is defined by the choices we make within circumstances. This interplay makes life compelling and meaningful. If everything were predetermined, our actions would be meaningless. If everything were up to us, the responsibility would be crushing. Our lives are a co-creation between the universe and our consciousness. We are given a hand of cards, and that is destiny. How we play that hand, that is free will. We have journeyed across the cosmos to a simple truth. Your choices matter, but so do the limits you cannot control. You are a conscious piece of the universe, able to reflect, choose, and act. You are a participant in your own unfolding story. So what do you do with this knowledge? You embrace it. You act with will, knowing the outcome is not entirely in your hands. You make plans and work towards them with passion. But you also cultivate humility for the things you cannot change. This is the path to wisdom, navigating life with strength and serenity. Think about the choices before you today. What forces are shaping them? What values guide your hand? By becoming aware of these influences, you enhance your freedom, Embrace your destiny, for in doing so, you will truly find your freedom.